Fans came for a legendary performance. But within minutes, the crowd started walking out. What went wrong on that stage shocked everyone. And the moment caught on camera is now going viral everywhere. It started like any other nightlights. Flashing crowd, buzzing phones already in the air. Fans had been waiting for this moment for weeks. The energy was electric, the anticipation. Real, because when David Lee Roth walks on stage, people expect more than just music. They expect a full experience. The kind that reminds you why rock once ruled everything. But what happened that night? No one saw coming as the intro faded and the spotlight hit. David stepped forward with his signature confidence. The crowd instantly roared that familiar presence, that legendary aura. It all felt right for a moment. It felt like time had rewound, like the golden era had returned. But then something changed. The first few lines came out rough. Not terrible, but just enough to make people notice. At first, fans ignored. Maybe it was the sound, maybe just warming up. But as the song continued, the cracks became clearer. His voice drifted, notes slipped, timing felt off. And suddenly, that confident performance turned into something uncomfortable. You could see it happening. In real time, phones slowly lowering faces, shifting from excitement to confusion. People looking at each other wondering if this was actually happening. David kept going, moving across the stage, trying to bring back that classic energy. But the vocals just weren't landing. And in a live show that matters more than anything, some fans near the front still cheered, trying to keep the moment alive, but further back murmurs started spreading. Some laughed awkwardly, others just stood still, unsure how to react, and then came the moment that changed everything. He went for one of his iconic vocal runs, the kind fans have heard perfectly executed for years. You could feel the anticipation rise again, like maybe this was the comeback moment, but instead, the note broke completely. Raw, exposed, and impossible to ignore. It wasn't subtle, it was captured from multiple angles, phones recording every second. And just like that, the entire mood shifted. Some fans gasped, others covered their mouths, and then something unexpected started happening. People began to leave slowly at first, just a few, then more quietly. Walking out not angry, not shouting, just done with the moment, as if they had already made up their minds. And while all of this was happening, the internet was already waking up. Clips began surfacing instantly, short, shaky videos, close reactions within minutes. Social media was flooded. Everyone reacting. Everyone sharing. Everyone forming opinions. Some were shocked, some disappointed, others brutally honest. But this wasn't just any performer. This was David Lee Roth, a name tied to history, a voice tied to an entire era. So fans were torn. Was this just a bad night or something? Bigger back on stage, David didn't stop even as the energy dropped. Even as people walked out, he kept performing almost defiant, refusing to let the moment break him, even when everything around him felt like it was falling apart. And for some fans, that mattered, because beyond the missed notes and viral clips, there was still a performer standing there, giving everything he had left in that moment. But by then, the damage had already been done. The videos kept spreading. The reactions kept growing. And what happened on that stage stopped being just a concert moment and turned into something much bigger. By the time the show ended, The internet had already made up its mind. Clips were everywhere, different angles, different reactions, all showing the same moment from different perspectives. And as expected, opinions split. Instantly, some called it a complete meltdown. Others called it human. Because the truth is, legends are not immune to time. David Lee Roth built his name on energy, charisma, and a voice that once dominated massive stages. But decades have passed, and performing at that level is not easy anymore. Still, fans expect consistency, and that expectation is where things become complicated. Because when people have seen greatness, anything less feels amplified. A small mistake becomes a headline. A rough note becomes a viral clip, and suddenly, years of legacy are judged by one performance. That's exactly what happened here. People began comparing old performances to this one, analyzing every second, every missed note turning one night into a larger conversation about decline relevance and whether it might be time to step away. But not everyone agreed. Some fans pushed back, pointing out the courage it takes to still step on stage to perform live without hiding behind edits, to stand in front of thousands, knowing things might not go perfectly. And they weren't wrong, because live music is not meant to be perfect. It is meant to be real. And what happened that night was as real as it gets. There was no filter, no second take, no way to fix anything, just a performer, a microphone, and a moment that didn't go as planned. But in today's world, real moments don't stay private. They get replayed, shared, judged again and again, and that is what turned this into something bigger, not just a rough performance, but a viral story. Even people who were not there started forming opinions based on short clips, some only seconds long, others jumping into debates about age talent and what it means to stay relevant. In an industry that moves fast, and through all of this, one question kept appearing. Should he keep performing? It is not an easy question. Because it is not just about ability. It is about identity, passion, and purpose. For someone like David Lee Roth, performing is not just something he does. It is who he is. Walking away is not simple, but neither is staying. Because now every performance carries more pressure, more scrutiny, more expectation. And moments like this do not just disappear. They stay. Online. They stay in conversations. They stay in public memory. Yet even in that chaotic night, even with everything going wrong, there were still flashes of what made him iconic. The movement, the stage presence, the refusal to quit even when things were clearly not going his way. That does not vanish overnight. And maybe that is why this moment feels so powerful. Not because it was perfect, but because it was not, because it showed something rare in today's polished world. Vulnerability, a reminder that behind every legend is a human being. Someone who can struggle, someone who can fail, someone who can still choose to continue. And maybe that is the real story. Not the walkouts, not the viral clips, but the fact that even after everything, he stayed on that stage and finished what he started, because sometimes the most unforgettable moments are not the perfect ones, but the real ones.